You want to move out, but you know you need a budget. But how do you budget for things like utilities if you don't know how much they cost because you've never paid them before?
In this video, we're going to give you a real good idea of how much utilities cost. Plus, we're going to give you some great resources so you can figure out what prices are relevant to where you live.
Yeah. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click on the bell so you get the notifications when we put out new videos. In the comments below, let us know where you want to live when you move out.
Creating a realistic budget is key to being able to pay all your bills and have money left over for having fun. Because, let's be honest, nobody wants to go to work just to pay bills and not be able to do anything that they enjoy doing. So we're going to take this video from the approach that you're just getting started and you don't make much money yet.
So before we really get into the cost of utilities, you're here because you want to move out, which is awesome. If you didn't know already, we have a big playlist on our channel that covers moving out. And in that playlist, we have videos to help you get out of your parents' house or the dorm, what have you. We got checklists. We got how much it's going to cost, to get moved out, and etc. So when you're done here, make sure you watch those videos. Also, if you don't already have our 12 steps to moving out of your parents' house checklist, you should absolutely download it because it's very useful. If you want it, it's going to be in the description. So check it out.
Okay, so how do you figure out how much your utilities are going to cost? Well, the easiest place is just search it up online, right? So you go in, you type in how much my utility is going to cost, and one of the first websites that pops up is rentcafe.com. And it is a great website if you want to figure out how much rent might be too for your area. But all you do is you type in your city or your zip code, and then it'll show you on average how much it's going to cost for electricity and internet and AC or heating and all that other stuff, right? Trash, recycling, if you live in the city, how much it's going to cost for parking, right? So all those things are going to be on rentcafe.com, and it's a great place to start.
All right, so let's get started with how much it costs on average for your utilities in the States. All right, it's kind of a long list, so I'm gonna read it off just to make sure that I give you guys the right numbers. First up, we have your electricity bill. That's going to be like your heating, your cooling, and the stuff that you use power for. On average, about $70 a month. That's going to go up or down depending on where you live. I mean, if it's warmer, you're going to pay more. If it's cooler, you're going to pay less. Sometimes your heat is going to be controlled by your gas. Okay, so if you have a gas bill, on average, that's going to be about 40 to 50 bucks in the winter when you're using your heater. All right. You have your internet, on average, about 100 bucks. Your water, $40. Trash and recycling is anywhere from $20 to $50. And then you have your renter's insurance, which is about 10 to 15 bucks. And then your parking, if you live in a big city, could be like $100 a month, okay? The national average is going to be between $350 to $450 a month for your utilities.
Hopefully, you can find an apartment complex or a landlord that's going to include some of these costs in the lease. So make sure you review the lease and have it written in there before you actually sign it.
Yeah. You want to know what you're getting, okay? Because sometimes they'll cover all of the utilities. Sometimes they'll only cover the water and the garbage. Typically, if you're going to rent a house, the landlord's going to have you pay all of the utilities, all of them, If you're getting a duplex, sometimes they might have you guys pay just the electric or just the internet. Sometimes they'll include them all. So you really got to ask to find out so you know what you're paying. If you're really trying to get an accurate cost of how much the utility is going to cost at a certain location, you can always call that apartment complex or that landlord to find out about how much the previous tenants were paying every single month for their utilities. Okay, almost lost it on that one, but I kept it together. Air 5. Okay, so now if you can't get a hold of the landlord or the apartment complex for whatever reason, you can always call the utility company and you can ask them what the previous person was paying at that property for their electric bill or their gas or what have you. That's another thing you can do also. So if you really want to know, you can do those things to find out. Also, don't forget, the previous tenants, they might have had 3 or 4 people living there and you might only have 2 people living there. So the cost of your utilities is going to go up or down depending on how many people you have living with you. In comparison to the people that used to live there. So it might be more or less. Okay? You're welcome.
Good point. So it's important to do the research before you move into the place because you need to make sure you can actually afford it because utilities can be pretty expensive depending on where you live. And sometimes, like Philip was saying, you have a lot of people that you live with, or you might just live with one other person, but the more roommates you have, the more utilities are going to cost. Duh, right? The more electricity people are going to use, or water, or whatever. But overall, your bills are typically going to be lower because you have more people to split them with. makes sense.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure those people are like responsible and actually gonna like pay the bills and like stay in the apartment at the same time that you're gonna stay in the apartment. They're not gonna like move out because they fell in love or something crazy. Okay, so let's say you move out, you have some roommates, and you make $2,000 a month. Your portion of the rent is going to be $700. All right, doable. Okay, your portion of the utilities is going to be $150. Okay, now we're at $850, still doable. All right, you get yourself a cheap, a mobile plan with Mint Mobile. All right, we're talking $30 a month for something unlimited. Awesome, also doable. Okay, and now you have like a car loan or something, your transportation cost, which is going to add in another, $150 approximately. So there you are, end of the month, you got about $1,100 of expenses, and you still got money left over. That's important. Adulting win on your part, Air 5. Good job.
All right, so the numbers Philip gave are just, approximates. It's totally up to you to figure out what your budget is. If you don't know how to make a budget, we have a great playlist on budgeting. But one of my favorite videos that we've made is why the 50-30-20 rule sucks. And we give you a better budgeting model to use that's more realistic when you're first getting started and you first move out.
If you don't know what that is, what he just said, you should watch the video so you can find out.
Yeah.
Okay? It's very good. Okay, well, there you go. That's how you should go about figuring out how much utilities are going to cost in your area. All right, so get it done. Don't forget to check out our downloadable checklist for how to get out of your parents' house in 12 easy steps. And then, again, that move out playlist that we have, great resources in there for you, so watch that also. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button in the comments below. Let us know if you have any questions.
And we'll see you in the next video.